Hey guys, this is Kanayo again. This is my second vlog in Beijing, China. And yeah, I'm happy that I can actually keep log of what I'm doing with you guys. So just to update you on what I did today and probably update my mum as well because she's very concerned. I did a bit of grocery shopping because the apartment that I'm staying at is self-catered. So ideally, I would like to cook from time to time, as well as go out to eat, but mainly cook and possibly learn a few new Chinese dishes. So if I do so, I will take pictures of what I make. But in terms of shopping, it's very, very different to the UK. I was expecting to find my regular tin tomatoes, but lo and behold, the price, that they were trying to tell me to buy my usual tin tomatoes, etc., was sky high. So I thought to myself, let's step back and stick to some Chinese produce. I did find Maggi sauce though, so I'm telling you that Maggi is universal, we thank God. On the topic of food, I did try a little bit of street food. Now, I told a few of you that I was a bit concerned about trying out the street food purely because you don't know whether the person who's making it is making them with clean hands, whether it's hygienic, you don't want to come back with diseases. But I didn't buy the street food, Frankie bought it, and I had a little bite of her chicken skewer. And I must say, it did taste very nice, it was well seasoned, however, it didn't taste like chicken. It was very, I can't even say it was chewy, but the consistency wasn't like chicken. I don't know what it was. I don't want to know what it was. I'll just accept the fact that it tasted good. So I can say, I have tried out the Beijing street food. So it wasn't too bad. Still on the topic of food and restaurants, I visited about 3 restaurants in my stay so far. It's only been 4 days. And there's a common trend in their toilets. Now, in Beijing, in my apartment, I have a regular toilet like we have in the UK. But in Beijing, when you go to public places and perhaps some people's houses, you will not find toilets with, seats, What you will find is a hole in the ground that is nicely decorated with, the plastic trimmings and tiles and everything. But you have to squat. Whether you are doing a number 1 or a number 2, you have to squat. For guys, you do whatever you do to get your thing inside that hole. But in general, you have to squat to use the toilets. And another thing is that even in my apartment, when I use the toilet, I'm not allowed to put the toilet paper down the toilet. I have to put it in the bin that's beside the toilet, which is odd. It's odd for me. I'm getting used to it because there's from time to time when I've dropped it inside, I'm like, oops. I'm getting used to it slowly, but I guess their reasoning behind it is that their water system isn't as strong to take on that waste of 23 million people in a city. On top of that, in terms of hygiene, I can see their logic behind, removing toilet seats and, allowing there to be holes in the ground because obviously you can contract diseases from, making contact with another area that a diseased person has made contact with. So I see their logic. I will get used to it. I'm going to be here for a month. So it's odd for me right now, but I will get used to it. Further on today, my hair has been the talk of the town. Okay, I lied, but it's been a hot topic. I'm not the only black intern here, but my hair is very, very different. Very, very different for the Chinese people to actually digest. And when we were coming back from buying some groceries in the town centre, I was stopped by a Chinese guy who basically came to touch my hair. I'll upload a picture of it, hopefully it'll flash in the video. He basically came to touch my hair. I assume that he's never seen hair like this before, never seen it in that type of bun. But what amazes me is that these fibres that were used to create the pack of kinky twists were potentially made in China, and it's amazing to know that sometimes they don't even know where the stuff they make goes, if that makes sense. So that was amazing to take in, and I'm expecting a lot more stares. I've had children look at me with their mouths open so that was interesting. I'm expecting more, but I'm not bothered by it at all. just to go back to what I did on Friday, because I don't believe I blogged on it or updated you guys. We had our induction day, and that's where you might have seen me dressing up smartly with my mask on. We had our induction day at Seafood and Dumpling Halls, and it was really, really good. We learned a lot about the Chinese culture and the Chinese workplace culture. And there were two main things that I learned that I really took home with me, which was the idea of guanxi and mianzi. Now, guanxi is about your relationship with others and about maintaining your relationship with others, like in terms of your communication. So still hollering when things are quiet and still checking on whoever you're working with. Mianzi is about your respect for yourself, for others, and for those that are above you. And a key embodiment of respect in China is when you go out for drinks with your colleagues, which is a regular occurrence, especially your boss. If you were to say cheers, and the way you say cheers in Chinese is ganbei. If you were to say cheers, you're holding your glass. This is your boss glass. This is your glass. When you say cheers, you have to like tilt the rim of your glass a bit lower than your boss's, because it shows respect. And I found that pretty cool. I don't know whether we do that in the UK, but that was pretty awesome to know. As well as just to add to what I was saying about guanxi, about your relationship with others, a key embodiment of that is about showing favors, doing favors for others. When someone does a favor for you, in China, they expect you to do a favor for them when they're in need, or to show like gratitude for the favor that you've done for them. It's like an invisible currency, if that makes sense. Most business meetings, they don't take place in an office setting. They take place maybe in a bar setting or when you're social. So I found that very, very interesting, the dichotomy of cultures from the Western to like across the Pacific to Asia. It is amazing. But yeah, I thought I should throw in those two things that I learned. And moving on, I have my business card. Hey, this is me. So that's the English side, and then I've got the Chinese side there. I found that it's very, very important to actually carry business cards. My networking for this journey started on the plane, because I was sitting next to a Chinese guy who spoke English and also Dutch. And he was telling me about his travels and what he's doing at the moment. And I was able to give him my business card, ching, and he said that he would actually give me tips on where to go in Beijing, and maybe if he had any advice for me in terms of how to get about in Beijing. So I found that really, really amazing, really appreciative. You guys will always hear me bang on about how important it is to network. Anyways, moving on. In my apartment, which is lovely, there is no 4th floor. Now, I live on the 12th floor, which is the very top. We have a beautiful view. But there is no 4th floor. And this bugged me. I wanted to know, why isn't there a 4th floor in my building? What's the issue, you know? And lo and behold, in my handbook, I found out that 4 is a superstitious number for them. 4 means death. 4 isn't great. If you give someone a gift, don't give them 4 items. Yeah, 4 is not good for Chinese people. Another thing is that the color white isn't great for Chinese people. Blood of Jesus upon all of those superstitions. Anyways, that's the explanation for why there isn't any 4th floor, but we give God the glory. I'm alive, I'm here, guys. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'm going to be going to the Forbidden City, which should be really, really good. I hope I can find postcards and I can send them out to those that I promised, because I know that it takes a while for postcards to get there. So I don't want to come back to the UK and people still be waiting for postcards. I really want to get them out early. And Mummy, if you're watching, what I mean, I love you. Bye guys, have a good night.